Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the series Mad About Python, and this is the second video in this series. In case you're new to this channel, I have left the video in my description. I'll recommend you check that video first and then come back to this video, since this will be a continuation to that video. Alright, in the last video we have seen how to create simple line plots, or I would say line graphs. So we have seen a sort of sample graph using different colors and using the labels and also the legend. And in this video, we'll be checking out how to add thickness, how to add the layout, how to give padding to your plot. And at last, we will see the different types of plot styles available for Matplotlib. Now coming to the plot designs and plot styles, my personal favorite is Seaborn. Seaborn is a Python data visualization library based on Matplotlib, which provides high-level interface for drawing, and they have really attractive statistical designs. I mean, look at the gallery. You can have all sorts of designs and all sorts of styles for Matplotlib, and we'll be checking out few of these today. As you can see, we will be seeing the histogram stack plot for some live data analysis, and we'll be seeing the bar plot, which is in horizontal form, as well as the vertical form, which is right here. This is the vertical bar plot. We'll be seeing with some sample data as well, and they also have the scatter plot, which looks something like this. So for this video series, I have planned to plot my YouTube analytics using the scatter plot. So that will be really interesting. Stick till the end of this series. I'll also go through the live data plotting. So in the last video, as you can see here, we have used some random values for the y-axis and as well as the x-axis. Now for this video, I wanted to do something really interesting. So I wanted to plot some data which actually makes sense. So as you know that Stackoverflow does this annual developer survey every year, and this time they have done it for 2020, and that data is available to download in full CSV format. As you can see here, download full dataset in CSV format. They are doing it from 2011 as well, so you can download any of the dataset from their website. You just have to visit stackoverflow.com, and that dataset is available for download. So what I want to do is I want to download this dataset, which I have already done, and I have taken few of those data sets which contains the age of the developer and the salary of the developer, and that I want to plot in form of line graph. As you can see, in the future videos we will be trying this horizontal bar graph as well as the vertical bar graph. Let me show you, where is that? Yeah, it will look something like this, as you can see here. Okay, so we are starting off with this new file, stackoverflow line.py. You can name your file anything, and the first step is obviously to import Matplotlib. From Matplotlib, import pyplot as plt. Okay, so next thing, we have age as the x-axis. So let's just name this axis age equals, and inside this, let's just start off with 18 and work our way up to, I think, age 55 should be fine. So right now we have the x-axis ranging from age 18 to 55. That's the max. And for the first programming language, let's take Python y-axis. So I'm just gonna take some values from the Stackoverflow CSV file, which is containing the salary of the age range respectively. Okay, so these are the salaries of the Python developers in USD, and these are according to the age ranges. As I told you, the dimension has to be same. The number of values here has to be same here. Okay, so the next thing we want is plot this. So plt dot plot, and we have to plot axis age x against Python y, and let me give the label as Python devs. Okay, so the next data we need is JavaScript developer, or let me take C++ developer as the third one. Again, you don't have to put the x-axis again because this remains constant, only the y is changing. Okay, so let me just take JavaScript developer and paste it here. So your JavaScript developer are having salaries something like this, and again we are plotting this against axis x, axis x, and Java developer y, and label is JavaScript devs. All right, so let me take another data. Okay, let me choose another language. Let's take Kotlin for this. So Kotlin dev y, and I will paste their salaries now. All right, so these are the salaries for the Kotlin developer. Okay, now we have to plot this and do the same thing, plt.plot. Now inside that we need axis x, axis age x, and this has to be plotted against Kotlin dev y. Let me add label. This will be Kotlin devs. Great. So we have 3 line graphs. That should be enough. Now we will do our same step again, which is plt dot x label. Now inside the x label, which is nothing but our age, as we have mentioned here, so that will be age. Then again plt dot y label. Now this y label will contain the median of the salary in USD, and let me give some title to this graph. So the data is from the Stack Overflow annual developer survey, so we'll just name it Stack Overflow annual dev survey. All right, now what else? We need the legend as well. We have seen this in the previous video, so adding legend. And yes, I want to show you something here. Sometimes what happens is while you're using Matplotlib or tkinter for these applications, your screen resolution will have some problems. Maybe you're using a bigger monitor or you're using a bigger screen, so it's always better to add something known as a tight layout. Okay, so what this tight layout does is gives some extra padding to your Matplotlib window. So that is very simple. Give it a tight layout, and at last you have to add plt dot show, and that is the end of this program. Let me just hit F5 and run it. Oh wow, this looks great. So this is our graph. As you can see, the legend, Python devs, JavaScript devs, and Kotlin devs respectively, and I have not given any color specifications. It is done automatically by Matplotlib, and you can see the y-axis label and the x-axis label. So let me show you some extra stuffs you can add to this plot. How about adding a grid, because you can easily make out what time the salary dropped and what time the salary was at its peak. Now to add grid to the Matplotlib, that's very simple. plt dot grid. Now inside the bracket you have to pass the parameter as true. Let me run this again. Hit F5, and now you can see the grid lines available for this plot. Looks much better now, and you can easily make out when the salary was above 8,000 and when it was above 10,000. Okay, so this was the grid in Matplotlib. And if you want thicker lines, you can add line thickness or something known as line width inside the plot parameter. Now let me try with the Python developer. Now after this label, I can pass something known as line width. Now this line width, I can give some value as 4. Now you can see the thickness of line will change when I run this. All right, now you can see here you have a thick blue line compared to the orange or the green line for the other developers. You can do that when you have to highlight the parameter. In this case, I want to highlight the Python developers, so I have given the line thicknesses for something like this. If you want to change for the Kotlin developer, you can do that as well. You can go here and give the line width. Let me give something like 6. I know this is too much, but let's see how it looks. Okay, so you can see here the 6 width is too much. I won't recommend going above 3 or 4. Now at last I wanted to show you the different kinds of plots and the different styles available for Matplotlib. Now for that you just have to comment out the plot show, and here you can type something like print, because I want to print this to the terminal to show you the list of style available. So you go plt dot style, style dot available. Now what it will do is it will give you the list of styles available. Let me just clear this terminal and show you. Let's just run this program, F5, and yeah, it will show you the error, but as you can see in the terminal, all these are the styles available in Matplotlib. In the beginning of the video, I have showed what is Seaborn library. As you can see, all these are built into Matplotlib. These are available, and my favorite is this 538 and ggplot. I also like the Seaborn deep, and let me show you some of these styles right now. Now to use any of the available plot styles in Matplotlib, you just have to use it after importing the Matplotlib. Just have to add this line, which is plt dot style dot use, and inside the use you can pass the parameter. So let me just give 538 as the style for now, and yeah, make sure you have uncommented the plt.show, and let me just run this. Great. Now as you can see here, my plot will look something like this. Much better. You can see the new font, all of these lines are highlighted, and just looks really nice. Let me try something like Seaborn. Where is Seaborn deep? Yeah, let me try Seaborn deep. Okay, so this is how your Seaborn deep will look like. And let's try something as dark background. Okay, so this is the dark themed plot. Yeah, it will look something like this. Wow. Okay, so this was your dark background. Now let me try the ggplot. This is my personal favorite. Let me run this again. Yeah, this is the ggplot. As you can see, it gives a faded gray in the background, remains the same, the grid remains the same, and you have those unique colors for the plot. Okay, so that was ggplot. Great. So you have the complete list here. You can explore more by adding this to the plt.style.use in the beginning of the program, and that is it. And let me end this video with the last command which you can add, and you can add something like plt.savefig. Now this is used to capture a screenshot while this program is running. I know you can do that in the window itself, and inside this you can name some files. So name.png, something like this, and that will be stored in the same directory as the VS Code. Let me just show you the built-in screenshot tool. So let me just run this again, and yeah, as you can see here, there's the option to save this figure. Great. So you can save this figure again in PNG format, but in case you want to save it while it's running, so you can do that by using plt.savefig. So very quickly, let me just summarize this whole video. So we have used the Stackoverflow annual developer survey data, and we have plotted it on the line graph using the Matplotlib. So what we have done here is we have taken the age in the x-axis, and we have taken the median salary in the y-axis, and then we have plotted these datas because the survey had more than 30 languages. So we have taken the top 3 languages and then plotted it. So I've taken JavaScript, Python, and Kotlin. And then we saw how to use the grid system in this video, which is nothing but plt.grid equals to true. And what it does is it will just add the grids to your plot, which will look something like this. Now what's the advantage of grid is you can easily make out when there is a peak like this, or there's a sudden drop in the salary. So it makes easier to read the graph. I mean, it will increase the readability of the graph. Then next we saw how to use the tight layout. So plt.tight layout is used when you have the different screen resolutions. Your laptop screen may differ from your big sized monitor. So using the tight layout, it will be easy to pack the whole widget onto the screen. Great. So that was the use of plt.tight layout. Then we saw the plt.savefig, which is something like this, plt.savefig. And inside savefig, you can give the name of the file .png. And what this will do is basically take a snapshot of the image and save it to your drive while the program is running. You can do that by using the camera button on this widget. But while you're running the program, you can save this screenshot as well. Then at last, you use the method plt.show just to plot the graph. If you don't include this, your graph won't appear on the screen. And then at last, we checked out the most important part, which is plt.style.use. So we checked out around 4 different styles right here. As you can see, we checked the Seaborn deep style, the dark background, 538, my favorite, and the ggplot. So for this, you don't have to do anything. It's just add this single line at the beginning of the program, which is plt.use.style, and inside this, you can add any of the style names. Also, you can visit the Seaborn website to check out the new styles. Great. So that is all for this video now, and I'll see you in the next one.